Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Urban Connection. Today's Urban Connection presents to you Frontiers of Dialogue. It's a big event which brings together African professionals, academicians, and business people, together with Austrian business community, so that they can exchange, explore about challenges and opportunities in emerging African market. This second edition of Frontiers of Dialogue was about technological environment. The question is, how can we use the technology to improve the environment? I mean, the ecological environment in Africa. Today, Afropean partners present you in Frontiers of Dialogue.
Right, my name is Rita Siba and I'm the founder of Afropean Partners. Afropean Partners is a knowledge brokerage solution. A knowledge brokerage solution in order to connect Austrian businesses to Africa's emerging markets. But not just that, to inspire and enable Africans and Europeans to connect, to collaborate, and to talk. And this is the reasons why we created Frontiers of Dialogue. We have it in the format of a panel discussion followed by a networking event. So you can combine the academic with the social aspects together. In addition to this, we use Frontiers of Dialogue as a template for our research, because what we also do is produce white papers. I have put together this event, Frontiers of Dialogue, because I believe it's necessary for us to tell our own story. When I say our own story, as a child of the African diaspora, I believe it's necessary that we change the mindset of us Africans, but also of the Europeans about Africa. You see, opportunities in Africa are often whispered, and the challenges are yelled. And I believe that through this dialogue, we can exchange information that can be an opportunity for Austrian businesses, but also for Austrian research institutions to come to Africa and help make a difference. I believe knowledge is the solution. Knowledge brokerage is the solution. And this is what the company Afropean Partners is about. And one of our products is Frontiers of Dialogue, along with publications and also consultation.
I think for me, first of all, I had a personal interest. I'm very interested in environmental issues. And even for Kenya, environmental issues are very important. We have policies in place that particularly deal with driving environmental performance using technology. We are a country that encourages direct foreign investment. So for me, it was important to participate and to share, to share information and the thinking of our government in terms of the type of technology that is used to drive the environment. Yeah. A really green policy is that policy which focuses on using renewable energy. For instance, Kenya was the first country to use geothermal energy. And at the moment, we have the largest production of geothermal energy. We produce about 636 megawatts. We have that capacity installed in terms of geothermal energy. We also moving into a lot of clean energy, such as wind energy, biogas, and other renewable energies.
Ja, mein Name ist Robert Vrabel. Und ich bin von Österreich, aber bin auch sehr oft in Kenia. Meine Firma hier ist Realset und in Kenia heißt sie Realset Kenia. Ich arbeite in all den Bereichen, das heißt Solar, Wind und Wasserkraft. Und im Moment bin ich gerade dabei, ein Wasserkraftwerk, ein Kleinwasserkraftwerk in der Nähe von Nairobi zu installieren. Mein Interesse lag darum, ich arbeite im erneuerbaren Bereich, erneuerbare Energien in Afrika, in Kenia, und das Programm hat mich auch sehr angesprochen und deshalb bin ich hergekommen und bin auch nicht enttäuscht worden.
So, my name is Naomi Morishita. I'm from the UID Housing Office, and my specialty is energy efficiency in buildings. Our company focuses on building energy efficient student housing for international students. So we have passive houses, zero energy buildings, and also plus energy buildings. And my contribution to tonight is to talk about energy efficient buildings and how important it is in our society and in the world in general, and also for Africa. And so I was talking about carbon credits and how we can rethink carbon credits, and actually we need to have more people thinking about new ways of making environmental change.
My name is D.I. Festus. I'm a Nigerian, and I'm a lecturer at Cotiton University in Liberia. I'm an agribusiness expert, and I introduced the agribusiness in Liberia. Today it was wonderful to be part of this dialogue. How can we bring technology in area of agriculture to Africa? It's very interesting because we have a very good market. Our market is very viable. Here in Austria, here in Europe, here in America, the market is saturated. So the tendency to monitor, to increase, to develop the market in Africa is very, very high. So my idea is how we can set up small technology, like using solar container to preserve food for the market. Was my interest. And secondly, how to establish small-scale farming in Africa, which can encourage big farmers to grow. For example, a small-scale farmer producing maize can help to supply feeds for large animal-producing farms.
My name is Rita Okechukwu. I'm a Nigerian. I am working here at the Vienna International Center as a network infrastructure engineer. This is my second time attending the event organized by Rita, and I will tell you, every time I leave here, I'm more enriched. I have more knowledge, and I really appreciate this. And I will always want to be part of this event because every time you come, you are picking something new. You are interacting, you are getting knowledge, and to understand what is going on around. So it's quite impressive. I'm very impressed, and I will encourage more people. And I wish equally that our leaders, should even be part of this to create a more awareness and more drive to support the cause.
Mein Name ist Simon. Ich komme aus Wien und ich habe zusammen mit einem Bruder ein Startup gegründet. Wir bauen steckfertige Solarsysteme, also Solarstrom selber machen, einfach persönlichen Solarstrom. Wir wurden hierher eingeladen von der Rita, die das Ganze hier veranstaltet hat. Und es war für uns eigentlich ein sehr inspirierender Abend. Wir haben ein paar wirklich nette Gespräche gehabt, weil irgendwie ich finde halt, Wien ist eine angenehme Stadt. Es gibt halt sehr viele verschiedene Menschen. Es ist eine sehr bunte Stadt. Und wir wollten einfach irgendwie Leute suchen, die irgendwie so eine Art Brücke bauen können für uns zwischen Wien und jetzt in dem Fall halt dem afrikanischen Kontinent. Und da haben wir ein paar sehr nette Gespräche gehabt, ein paar nette Leute kennengelernt und bin schon gespannt, was sich in Zukunft aus den Bekanntschaften heute noch so entwickeln kann.
We saw ourselves as the technology. We saw ourselves designing a new technology that has not been implemented in that sector, in the sugarcane sector in Kenya. And in that process, we already saw the use of what the bagasse, the waste, if it is briquetted, put into briquette, it can serve as a biomass for another company which we assessed, that is a tea company. So I think we should look at the whole process. I think you've used the term the life cycle analysis. It's not actually the end, but actually the beginning. And the beginning starts with us as humans having the right thoughts, which can be considered as a technology. Thank you.
One of the things is to look at it in a different business model. I mean, right now we say, this is an item, I own this item, and when I'm finished with it, I throw it away and I don't own it anymore. But it's an idea of changing the concept and saying, you know, maybe I rent it, or maybe, you know, I share it. So I think that it has more to do with changing our mentality about economics, and also with the sharing economy, not only having, let's say, the big policies where, let's say, the UN or national governments are thinking about this, but where we also have the grassroots movements, so we're moving from both sides. So we're moving from the bottom up and from the top down, and then we also need to have innovations in different areas, because this is a complex society. But when we have that, then we'll start to reach our goals. That's what I believe.
I would like to stick to the topic of technology, because I do believe technology is a common thread to meet the issues that many countries face. And I believe also in agriculture, the more technology you adopt, the more you produce. But it's also a contradiction, because when you overproduce, it leads to deforestation and also the degradation of the soil. Now, I would like to speak to our agricultural scientists in this regard. There are a lot of smart farming techniques that are currently being adopted in Africa, using smartphones, apps, or just simply SMSs. In your experience, do you see a future in this, or do you believe that it's actually going to turn things worse than it was before?
I'm very optimistic in this area. We have, example here, we have the farmers' partnership. Like farmers producing certain products will relate to other farmers who will buy the products. Example, we have the animal farmers in the district producing animal. Their job is just to produce animal. We have other farmers producing feeds like cassava, like maize. Their job is to produce cassava. They can connect to each other. I am producing cassava. I don't care how much I produce. I don't care how to use it. The animal farmers say, I need cassava to feed my animal. I don't care what way it is being produced. So this connection with smartphones is very, very effective. And it is effective now that we have, like, I give example of West Africa, like we have the Lone Star with MTN Nigeria is really making this positive for the people around West African countries. MTN will come to Liberia with Lone Star, with Celcom, and mesh together to enhance this opportunity for the farmers. So we are really enjoying this opportunity there that farmers now can connect with each other to say, I am producing this, I need this. So the opportunity that the overproduction in Africa is not a very big problem. We have a big problem of marketing.
Ambassador Kitonga, would you be able to add in your take in what Kenya is doing in order to merge technology with agricultural production without impacting to a negative sense the environment?
We have a service provider, mobile service provider, Safaricom, which has what you call M-Pesa. So in terms of how you're connecting farmers and in terms of how they use the technology to their benefit, M-Pesa is like a finance system, a banking system, where, for instance, if I have somebody or I have a farm and I would like to buy seeds or to, you know, to have the money banked from what I have benefited from the land, I can use the M-Pesa system. M-Pesa system is a very interesting system. It enables, it is widespread in all mobile people who are connected to Safaricom are able to use this facility, and it's a very good system where Kenyans are benefiting enormously in terms of transmitting finance easily from one point to another. And of course, maybe I can also mention that Kenya is one of the fastest growing economies in Africa, and we encourage foreign direct investment. In fact, one of our areas of priority is economic diplomacy. So we are cooperating with other countries, including Austria, and for instance, in this region, Hungary and Slovakia, where we try and embrace newer technologies, newer farming methods. Of course, one of the challenges is lack of farmers having the finance to introduce some of these new technologies, but these technologies are definitely being used in farming now. Thank you.
Do you believe that there's some truth to it, or is it just the media talking?
Well, there are many different points of views for windmills in general, and I don't really want to take a position in the big wind industry. I don't want to oppose it, and I don't want to say, yeah, that's really good and we put it everywhere, because I work with small wind turbines up to maybe 5 or 6 meters in diameter, and this is not so much of a topic in my branch. So they are accepted in this size as something interesting, some interesting machine actually. When it comes to large wind energy systems, of course, there are different points of views, and you can say it doesn't really look nice, or I don't like it, and other people say I really like it because it produces renewable energy. So yeah, there are ups and downs, of course, and my personal opinion is that if you put them somewhere where they don't really disturb anyone, then it's fine, but I wouldn't really like them 100 meters next to my house. Talking about big wind turbines. The smaller machines, it's different. You can put them anywhere, and they are not so big that they really disturb a lot of people by the appearance, physical appearance. My website is called pureselfmade.com, and there is a list where you can write your email address down, and then you will get notification about the next course happening. And it's not so many courses are public, actually. I would like to do more public things, but it's mostly booked by closed groups, like universities or NGOs or something. But there are some public events on the website.
So, gentlemen.
First of all, let me congratulate you that it's even a constitutional thing in Kenya that we have to have access to clean environment and stuff like that, environmental something. But then, do you think the African leaders are doing enough in this facing this challenge? Because we talked about poverty, I would say like poverty, and as well as lack of education. If somebody thinks it's cheaper to buy a second-hand television or a refrigerator from Europe to use back home, first, it's not cheap because they believe they pay less, but this consume more energy than the new ones. The new ones use next to nothing energy consumption. But this old one, when you plug it, you see the meter running very fast. So if they are well educated, they will know that it's not even cheaper, it's even more expensive. That is one. Secondly, even they don't have the idea of how to recycle this, like my brother said, that you have to teach them how to recycle this thing, so that not you buy a big TV, after using it, you drop it somewhere else, it's emitting or polluting the environment. So do you think our leaders are doing enough?
I believe that African leaders are not doing enough, and I think there's much more that can be done. One way is creating awareness, and two, the policies that we have. Unfortunately, in the 80s, we had a lot of pressure from the West, and we embraced a liberalization policy. And this liberalization policy gave way to dumping of cheap and second-hand items in Africa generally. And I think that was because of pressure from some of the industrialized countries. But as I say, yes, there's need to do more. Some governments in Africa are trying, and in Kenya in particular. We are moving, even in terms of embracing policies that, for instance, recently we have been having a lot of second-hand goods coming into Kenya, but we are trying to adopt a free economic zone where products that are produced for AGOA is in cooperation with America, where we export new clothes. They're made in Kenya and exported. Some agreement we have with them. So we are trying to create that a situation where people can actually buy new clothes, for instance. But I think we need to prevent the dumping of old and obsolete technology in Africa.
Why didn't you implement something like the Agri Union, even if it's going to be a small scale, which I think is even more, will be more effective, or a kind of cooperation as we used to know those days, so that you group cassava farmers, even if only they are just a handful, you group them together so that they can, share knowledge and improve their production.
Yeah, my name is Muso. My question is for Jonathan. Okay, in Nigeria, where I come from, currently the people, they've given up on the government because in terms of power. A population of about 190 million, and we are having just about highest 500 megawatts of power, 5,000 megawatts of power. Imagine. So in a day, you should be having power maybe 1 hour, 2 hours. So presently in Nigeria, we produce, people are now kind of independent, producing their own power using generators. And the problem with the generator is that it's harmful. We've had instances where some people were in the room and they left the generator on, and the next day they were all dead because of the emission. So what I'm saying is, now, how durable is this windmill, and what is the lifespan of this windmill, and what is the maintenance cost for this windmill?
So the question is, what was the motivation for this company to protect the environment? Yeah, so this was a very interesting example, but the question is, why are they doing this? Yeah? So do they get some governmental incentives, or is it really for profit for them to protect the environment?
The peanut butter they buy in the market in Monrovia, this peanut butter is being bottled in New Jersey, but the granule production is in Liberia. So, and a peanut bottle is costing up to about $15 US. The Liberia cannot afford that. That's how it started. Good. What do? We try to encourage the rice farmers, the granule farmers, to have a cooperative body. So now we are trying to encourage rice, country rice, because to stop the importation of rice from India or China. We won't go into trade-off now, because if I go to trade-off, we'll stay at it tomorrow. Please don't. No. So I don't care how China or India are bringing their rice to Liberia, but what I care about is how to make that Liberia produce their rice themselves without depending on them. So we have cooperative bodies. We try to encourage country rice, which is brown rice, and I bet you, with the connection we have with the farmers, the bodies, the unions, they are really working together and working hard to encourage the consumption of country rice. As an example. So there are so many areas of agribusiness situation which we are doing. Here in Vienna, 2011, I was the first person to establish aquaponics in Simmering. So this aquaponics is a technology where I use the fish water, which I normally throw away, that contains ammonia, to produce tomatoes or vegetables. How? The ammonia is being broken down by two bacteria in the tomatoes roots, Nitrosomas, Nitrobacter. Then this water will be sent back again to the fish pond. It's recycling. 1, we save water. 2, it is biological. 3, you can produce aquaponics in this room here. So it's a small-scale development, which we established there in Liberia, Cotiton, which is working very well. Here in Vienna, in Simmering, I had it there for Liberia. So it's a thing that we are trying to encourage the small farmers to do in their backyard. It's a very simple system. Yeah, so the fish water that we normally throw away in Nigeria and Africa is now being sucked into the growing bed, and the bacteria will now dissolve the ammonia and use the nitrate. The nitrate residues will go back to the water again, it circulates. Now talk about the energy. How do we do the energy? We have the solar technique, which is very functioning very well. So you see, the connection of the farmers getting information is getting rapid in Liberia every day. People are getting interested.
The design that I'm using for the wind turbines in my courses, it's not purely developed by myself. It's an open source design developed by a guy from Scotland. He's using this for 30 years now, and he has also developed it further and further over the years. And it's not completely open source, but he gives away the license for people to use for projects like this. And it's designed in a way that people can use it and build it themselves, basically, with not very high qualification. So it's pretty simple, and also there's not much that can go wrong. And when you talk about the duration of how long it works, basically, it's important to say that you need about one session of maintenance every year, where you take it down and to make sure that everything is running correctly. And also it needs about, let's say, half an hour, 20 minutes every month for very little maintenance jobs.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. Keep following us on social media. See you next time.